I am 100% sure nobody has told you this. And if you're a nurse, what I'm about to show you might completely change how you think about AI. Because right now, somewhere in a hospital, a nurse is finishing a shift 3 hours earlier than they used to. Not because they have fewer patients, not because they're working less, and definitely not because they're cutting corners. They're simply doing something differently. And the crazy part, most healthcare professionals still don't know this is happening. Think about that for a second. What would you do if someone gave you 3 extra hours every day? Would you spend more time with patients? Would you leave work on time? Would you finally stop taking documentation stress home with you? Because that's exactly what some nurses are starting to do. And it's all because of a technology that many people are either ignoring, misunderstanding, or actively afraid of. Hi, I'm Zoya, and if you've ever stayed late after a shift just to finish charting, if you've ever looked at a patient waiting for your attention while another screen demanded your documentation, or if you've ever gone home exhausted because the paperwork felt harder than the nursing itself, then this video is for you. Because today we're going to uncover how nurses are using AI to reduce documentation time by up to 3 hours a day, why hospitals are paying attention, and why this trend is growing much faster than most people realize. But here's the part nobody talks about. The real benefit isn't the technology. It's what happens when nurses finally get their time back. And that changes everything. Let me explain. Imagine it's 7:12 p.m. Your shift officially ended 12 minutes ago. You should be walking to your car. Instead, you're sitting in front of a computer. Again, you spent the last 12 hours caring for patients, checking medications, monitoring vital signs, responding to emergencies, supporting families, coordinating with physicians, solving problems every few minutes. You've done the work. The patients received the care. The difficult decisions have been made. But you're still here. Because now comes the documentation, the charting, the updates, the progress notes, the assessments, the forms, the summaries, the endless clicking, typing, reviewing, and repeating. And here's what makes it frustrating. None of those tasks are unimportant. Documentation matters. It protects patients. It improves communication. It supports continuity of care. It helps healthcare teams make better decisions. The problem isn't that documentation exists. The problem is that it consumes an enormous amount of time. Time that nurses don't have. Time that patients need. Time that families need. Time that healthcare systems are desperately trying to recover. And this is where the story starts to change. Because for years, hospitals tried solving this problem the traditional way. More training, more procedures, more forms, more systems, more requirements. But none of those approaches addressed the core issue. The work itself remained repetitive. And that's exactly where AI enters the picture. Not as a replacement for nurses, as a force multiplier. Think about it this way. Most documentation follows patterns. Patient assessments follow patterns. Shift summaries follow patterns. Clinical notes follow patterns. AI is exceptionally good at recognizing patterns, which means it can help nurses complete repetitive documentation tasks dramatically faster. One of the biggest breakthroughs is voice-assisted documentation. Instead of stopping to type every observation, nurses can simply speak naturally. Patient resting comfortably, vital signs stable, medication administered as ordered, no adverse reactions observed. The AI listens, transcribes, organizes, formats, and prepares structured documentation within seconds. Now here's the important question. Does that save 3 hours instantly? No. And this is where many people misunderstand AI. The biggest gains don't come from one massive improvement. They come from hundreds of tiny improvements. 30 seconds saved here, 2 minutes saved there, 5 minutes saved somewhere else. Documentation, charting, summaries, data entry, navigation, formatting, every small efficiency compounds throughout the day. And suddenly something incredible happens. The nurse who used to stay late leaves on time. The nurse who spent hours charting spends more time with patients. The nurse who felt overwhelmed starts feeling in control again. But wait, because this is the point where many people start asking the wrong question. They ask, will AI replace nurses? That's not the question we should be asking. The better question is, what happens when nurses spend less time documenting and more time caring? Because that's what's actually happening. AI doesn't comfort anxious families. AI doesn't recognize subtle emotional cues. AI doesn't build trust with patients. AI doesn't make clinical judgments. People do. Nurses do. Technology isn't replacing those skills. It's making more room for them. And that's why the most successful healthcare organizations aren't using AI to remove humans from healthcare. They're using AI to remove unnecessary friction. The goal isn't fewer nurses. The goal is fewer hours wasted on repetitive administrative work. And honestly, we're still at the beginning. The tools available today are the worst versions we will ever use. Voice recognition will improve. Documentation systems will improve. Workflow automation will improve. Integration with healthcare platforms will improve. 5 years from now, healthcare documentation may look completely different from what it looks like today. And the professionals who learn these tools early will be the ones who benefit most. Because the future of healthcare isn't humans versus AI. It's humans empowered by AI. It's technology handling repetitive processes while skilled professionals focus on meaningful care. It's less paperwork, less burnout, less administrative overload, and more of what healthcare was supposed to be about in the first place. People helping people. So before you leave, remember this. AI is not here to replace nurses. It is here to give them something they've been losing for years. Time. Time for patients. Time for families. Time for better care. Time for life outside work. And if technology can give healthcare professionals that gift back, then maybe this isn't really a story about artificial intelligence at all. Maybe it's a story about giving people their lives back. If you found this valuable, subscribe. Because every week, Zoya brings you practical AI tools, real-world workflows, and professional insights that help you work smarter and live better. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, go beyond.